Hey, I'm Izzy,
Hey, I'm David.
and we're on our way to the Goodwill Outlet to do a
Book haul.
So a few of you asked us on Twitter if we could do a Goodwill Bins book haul. And normally when I'm shopping, I don't even go to that side of the store because I end up wanting to bring home all of the books.
Definitely.
So I got to do that this time. We spent most of our trip at the bin section, at the book section in the store. We did do like a quick round of the rest of it and found a few more things and a few more books in the regular section. But this is what we got.
On this trip, it wasn't very busy, especially not in the book area. We ran into some people that were resellers, other resellers there, and they said that those books had been out since the day before. So it was pretty calm over there in the book area.
It was really picked over, though. A lot of the people we find that shop for Amazon, so there weren't very many new books that were in really good shape, and I didn't see any textbooks. Yeah. And our Goodwill Outlet charges 25 cents per inch of spine, so like they measure all of the books stacked up this way. So for all of these books here, we spent a grand total of
$10.
So you had 40 inches stacked up of books. It was $10 plus tax.
You had to use the yardstick.
Yeah, we at ours, if you buy more than a few, you just leave them in the cart stacked up and they come and measure them and add them all together.
Yeah.
So one of the very first things I picked up in the bin of books is actually my favorite find of the day for myself, and that is this penny collector album. It's from the St. Louis Zoo, and it's full of almost all of the pennies from the zoo, the stretch pennies, and then some of the coins also. And I collect the elongated or the stretch pennies whenever we go somewhere. And they did charge book price, so I only paid about 10 cents for this.
So we do, at the bins, we see a lot of old Bibles, but they're not very unusual. They're just your normal black leather-bound Bibles. But we have had a lot of fun and success selling ephemera on the different mediums that we sell, and we found all these cards that Izzy's showing you. They were all in like one or two different Bibles. So it's really neat. We just kind of flipped through the pages a little bit, and all these different things were in those Bibles. So I'm definitely going to be on the lookout for something like this in the future. So this one right here is from 1911.
It's like it was like a women's Bible league, but then for their kids it was a junior league. And it's just like what they should study that year in the Bible lessons.
It's really neat.
So the biggest set that we got was this pile of childcraft books. Now, I've sold these before, so I didn't even think to look inside. Because the ones that I've sold before had these really cute little cartoon illustrations for like the fairy tale stories. And like I said, I've sold them pretty quickly before. The only problem is I didn't look inside these because I thought they were all pretty much the same. And unfortunately, they're not. This one had like black and white drawings. I guess there's some color, but they're not like the pencil. They're not like the soft, cutesy ones that sell really well. And then some of them are just plain. So they won't sell for as much, unfortunately. I probably wouldn't have gotten them if I had looked inside. But hopefully someone still wants them. I'll just lot the plain ones up and see how they do. But again, I only paid less than $1 for each one.
The next set of things we got was these little records right here. They're books and records. So you see the pictures, hear the record, and read the book.
Oh, this one's colored in. I didn't see that.
That's really cool. I didn't notice that either. But so yeah, these are just really neat. I think there were also a bunch of Disney ones that we found in the bins, but these were the coolest ones. They're about $5 each.
Yeah. So this is just a collector book for bisque dolls. I mean, these kind of sell, especially if it's for identifying the older stuff. I know a lot of price guides aren't worth anything, but this will be of interest to a collector. But before I list this, I'm going to read through it because I do find a lot of dolls, but I find I don't really know the terminology that would help me sell them quickly, and people will ask me very specific questions. And I'm like, it's a doll, and it's not plastic. That's all I can tell you. So I'm going to read this, and then after that, I'll go ahead and list it. It is a library book with a couple of little rips, but for what the information is, it's in really good shape. Now, this one is a how to draw book by Preston Blair, and he was a Disney and an MGM cartoonist. And I didn't recognize his name, but I definitely recognized his drawing style. I think anyone who grew up watching cartoons would. So it's actually like really detailed instructions on how to draw all of the illustrations, but it's also that like iconic style of animation that I think even people who don't draw could appreciate. And with a couple of condition issues, there's some bent pages and a little rip. It's worth about $20. And it is like a large book, but it still just goes by the price of the spine. No matter how big of a book you get, even if it's one of those like classroom read-along books, it just goes by the width of the spine.
Even though we try not to shop for ourselves, we did get a few.
So I got this 1953 Six Plays by Rodgers and Hammerstein, which are like all of the old musicals. And I had never seen one like this before, so I got this for my personal collection. It's got like Oklahoma, Carousel, The King and I, just a bunch of musicals actually put out like they were published plays instead of just a screenplay. So that one's for me.
I got this one. It's called Heritage of St. Louis. I love books like this. I'm not from the area, so we live by St. Louis, and I like to learn things about the old part of the city with books like this. They aren't widely published, they're local, so you get some really neat information from them.
And this is just like a blank journal that no one had written in yet, so I got it for personal use. I mean, you can't beat 25 cents on a new journal, but not very exciting, I guess, but still really cheap. And this is just a book I wanted to read. Basically, I use the bins like my own library sometime, and then if I read the book or decide I don't like it, I'll donate it back if it doesn't say my collection. But it's just an Amy Tan book. and it's actually in really good shape. Like, I would give this to somebody.
I got this one, You Don't Know Much About Geography. I actually have You Don't Know Much About History. They're really fun and neat to read. It's just your standard relax, read little tidbits of geography. It's fun to read and relaxing. And I already have some by this author and I like it.
So this one I got because I collect Pyrex, and I collect Pyrex labware, which is like the beakers and all the science lab stuff you would see. And to display it, I like to put it with chemistry and old vintage science books on the shelf next to it. So this one looked good on the spine. It has some cool pictures too, but it's a laboratory manual for general chemistry. And this is like the workbook that would go with the textbook for this college that the professors wrote. When I got this home, I thought it was really funny because one of the other books I had on my shelf, which the cover is kind of worn, but it is Laboratory Manual of General Chemistry by a different professor. So they were the same course textbook, like the workbook for the same course, but at different colleges by the individual professors. So I thought it was fun that now there's a little matching pair of books.
So these are basically, we got them as gifts. So we know someone that really loves Impressionism. So whenever we find a neat, good coffee table style book of Impressionist painters, we pick it up for them.
It's for my mom.
Oh, and so we have that. And we also got this comic book for our nephews. We pick up good, neat, good condition comic books for our nephews whenever we see them. So that costs absolutely nothing by the inch.
And the last one I got for me is I love Agatha Christie books, and this spine was awesome. It looks great on the shelf. So even though I already have this in paperback, I decided to get this one instead and swap them out because it looks a lot better sitting on the shelf.
The next thing we got is this Jell-O book. It's recipes, but in the style of a magician. It's not worth much. It's probably like worth $2 or $3 at the most, but it is not a book that they would ever make again anymore. They don't make these kind of books, and it looks so neat. I just had to grab it.
I got these to sell for like a craft lot, and they're old clip art books, like before you could just print it off on your computer. This one is like corners, so you would just cut it out and put it on your project. They're a little bit outdated, but I do sell a lot to artists who just want something different, and it does have a little bit of an older look than just printing something out now. And vintage Christmas books sell really well for me. I actually have a couple of buyers that I just message. I don't even have to list them. So these will go to one of them right away, I'm sure.
These are just neat looking vintage children's books. Cool pictures, cool graphics on the cover.
So anytime I find these cool like craft books, I tend to get them, again, because they're basically free. And then I just save them until I have like a big lot of them. This one I thought was really cool though. It's like college fashions and how to make sure your sweaters are in style. It does have a little bit of a musty smell to it, which I would not have gotten it, but that's just one of the problems of shopping when you have a mask on, is you're going to miss that. But I'll just put that in the listing and disclose it, and if someone else will buy it.
So these were some of the only books in good condition, and we're going to bundle them.
So this is like a little Bible story book. We actually put this by the weight instead of measuring it because it was ridiculous. And then I also got this little cookbook. It is falling apart, but it's just got some really great graphics in there. So I will be putting this in my ephemeral lots.
Anytime you see a bundle like this of vintage kids books together, just grab them. They sell together easily.
It's my favorite book.
So this next one is one of our giveaways. It's a 1924 Pinocchio. It's in pretty good shape, some page crumbling, but it has great illustrations. I think the best part is we can instantly recognize the story, but it's not as innocent as the Disney version we're all used to seeing, that's for sure.
And the next book in the giveaway is also fairy tales. It's in really rough shape, but I thought the cover was really great and it would be nice for someone who does junk journals maybe. It's copyrighted 1884 and it is full of these amazing illustrations. It's almost like every other page is a picture.
The next giveaway item is the History Stories of Other Lands, Book 4, 1066 to 1485.
Lord and Vassal.
Lord and Vassal. This book is a former school library book. Its copyright is 1915, and it has beautiful colored plates and some smaller drawings inside.
And our final giveaway book is French. It's actually a textbook because all of the instructions and chapter names are in English. It's not the best shape, but I know a lot of people really like the look of dictionary pages, and I thought the fact that it was in another language would be an extra added bonus.
So the rest of the books that we have here are ones we just had to grab. And if no one buys them, that's no big deal. We still have room up on our bookshelf.
So this one actually already sold. I wasn't even sure I wanted to get rid of it, but I listed it just to kind of see where we were on pricing. And it sold right away within 5 or 10 minutes. It is very, very beat up, but it is $18.90. Common Sense Medical Advisor, and it is missing some pages. We found it, scattered it in several different bins. It has these amazing graphics to it, and I mean, it's actually an interesting read too because it's over 100-year-old medical advice and what their opinions were on everything.
Yeah. These 4 are going to go as a lot. They're all math and engineering. This one is from 1928. This one is from 1929, Practical Treatise on Gearing. 1905. This one is 1907.
This is Among Humorists and After Dinner Speakers from 1909. From 1921. And just has stories with some really pretty plates in there.
This is a reader from 1888.
This one is from 1925, but it has an interesting name. It's The Monkey Puzzle. No pictures, just text.
The Monkey Puzzle. This is from 1927.
This one's still in really good shape. It's Treasure Island. There's not really any issues. I couldn't find a year on this one.
This is a pronouncing dictionary from 1931.
This is a much nicer shape, eclectic reader. I couldn't find the only year I could find was 1879, but it's in pretty good shape for being a school book.
This is a music book from 1918.
This is a book called The Woman Gives from 1916, and I thought it had some interesting graphics in it. This is a book called The Woman Gives from 1916, but I thought it had some interesting illustrations in it. It is water damaged on the bottom. I haven't read the story, but I think I like this woman's attitude.
This is condensed U.S. history. I'm not sure what they were condensing, though, because this was printed in the 1870s. So, and it had all these old great maps to show like the old claims from back then. It's really neat.
So that was our $10 Goodwill Outlet book haul. Props if you're still here through all of that, because that was a lot of books for $10. And now for the rules of the giveaway. if you wanted to see detailed pictures and video of the giveaway books and you skipped to the end, sorry you missed it. You got to go back a little bit. This giveaway is open to any country, wherever you live. We are shipping from the US though, so we'll ship it for free, but if you have any import fees or anything like that, that'll be on you if you're outside the United States.
So what do they have to do to enter?
First thing is to subscribe. We can't actually check that you subscribed, but you don't want to miss the video once you win. And like the video below, which really helps us out. And besides that, to enter, all you have to do is drop a comment below telling us which of all of the books that we got for $10 was your favorite.
And we're going to run the contest for 2 weeks starting today.
So drop your comment below to enter. Make sure you subscribe. That way you catch the announcement video. And please share the video with your friends so they can enter and win you some books too.
Yeah. Thanks for watching.
Let's go inside. Doctor, let's go inside. Come on.